All right, let's dive right into one of the most fundamental, most powerful pieces of the Pandas library, this series. And more importantly, we're going to talk about its secret sauce, the index. Seriously, if you can get this right, you'll be organizing and accessing your data like an absolute pro. Let's get into it. So, think about it for a second. What's the hidden ID card that every single piece of your data carries around in Pandas? Well, that's the index. And trust me, it is so much more than just a row number. It's the key that makes every bit of your data findable, meaningful, and actually useful.
So what is a Pandas index really? Well, at its core, it's just a set of labels. Think of it like an address system that gives every single element in your series a specific place to live. The moment you create a series, boom, Pandas automatically builds the system for you, so you can find and work with your data with perfect precision.
Okay, but what if you don't actually give it an index? What if you just throw some data at Pandas and call it a day? Does it get confused? Nope. Pandas has got your back. It gives you a default integer-based index right out of the box. Let's see exactly what that looks like. Here we go. This is about as basic as it gets. We're creating a series we'll call S, and we're just feeding it a simple list of numbers. Now, the most important thing here is what we haven't done. We haven't said a single word about what the index should be. And bam, there it is. Pandas just jumps right in and automatically stamps that default index onto our data, starting from 0. That column on the left, the 0, 1, 2, 3, that was all Pandas. It's simple, it's automatic, and honestly, for a quick job, it works just fine.
But this is where the real power starts to show. Why would you ever settle for generic numbers when your labels can actually describe your data? It's time to take control and create our own custom indices.
The code looks almost identical, right? But there's one crucial difference, that index parameter. This is us explicitly telling Pandas, hey, forget the default numbers. We want to use these meaningful labels, A, B, C, and D, as the new addresses for our data. And just look at the result. The default numeric index is totally gone. It's been replaced by our custom labels. This makes the series so much more readable. Instead of trying to remember what's at position 1, you can just ask for the data at index B. It's way more intuitive and so much clearer.
All right, let's take a minute to bust a common myth. If you've ever worked with databases, you're probably drilled to think that every index, every key, must be unique. But is that actually true in the world of Pandas? Let's find out.
So here's the million-dollar question. Do indices in a Pandas series absolutely have to be unique? Now, you'll hear people say you should always use unique indices, and you know what? That's fantastic advice. But what happens if you don't? So we're going to break the rule, on purpose. Take a close look at the index we're creating here. We're using the label A twice, once for the number 10 and again for the number 40. So what's going to happen? Is Python going to yell at us? Will our code just crash and burn? And the answer is, surprise, it works perfectly. Pandas doesn't throw an error, it doesn't even give you a warning. It just lets you create a series with duplicate indices. This is a really important point. It's allowed, but that absolutely does not mean it's a good idea. Which, of course, leads to the next big question. If Pandas lets you do it, then what's the actual problem? Why does everyone say to use unique indices? Well, the danger isn't when you create the series. The danger is when you try to use it. And here is where things get messy. It's all about ambiguity. When you ask for the value at index A, you don't get one clean answer. You get both of them, 10 and 40. And it gets so much worse. If you try to change the value at A to, say, 100, you will silently change every single entry with that index. This is exactly how those sneaky, frustrating bugs creep into your code. So to avoid all that chaos, just use unique indices. Okay, time for puzzle number 2. A core idea in Pandas is that a series is homogeneous. It's a fancy word that just means all its data should be the same type, like all numbers or all text. But if that's the rule, how on earth can it seem to hold all different kinds of data at once? It's super easy to make a series that has integers, floating point numbers, and even strings all mixed together. So how does Pandas square that with this rule of being homogeneous? Well, the secret is a really clever process called upcasting. To keep its one data type rule, Pandas looks at all the different values you've given it and finds a single, more general data type that can handle everything. Think of it like trying to find a big enough umbrella to keep all your different data types covered. And this table here basically shows you those umbrella rules in action. If you mix integers and floats, well, to keep all that decimal precision, everything gets promoted or upcast to a float. But here's the big one to watch out for. The second you add a single string into the mix, Pandas is forced to upcast the entire series to the most general type it has, object. It keeps the data technically homogeneous, but it can definitely make your code less efficient. So after digging into these two common points of confusion, let's just boil it all down. Let's summarize what we've learned into a few clear, simple rules for creating series that are clean, predictable, and efficient. Okay, let's wrap this up with the most important takeaways. First, and I really can't say this enough, always use unique indices. It's not technically required, but it will save you from so much confusion. Second, remember that Pandas is always going to maintain a single data type through that process of upcasting. Third, be super careful about adding strings. Just one can change your whole series to that less efficient object type. And one final important point. You can change the values that are in a series, but its size is fixed. You can't just tack on new items like you would with a regular Python list.
Look, mastering the index isn't just about learning some new syntax. It's about making your data more descriptive, your code way more readable, and your analysis so much more powerful. So the real question is, now that you're in control, what are you going to build?